Hello my babies, 'tis I, TheMegChan, and welcome to another tarot reading. Finally getting around to doing this. This one is a Minecraft inspired reading, and it is called What is Blocking This Connection? So I'll just get right to it. We have 4 piles for you to choose from. These are some of my son's Minecraft blocks that I have, that he has so graciously let me borrow. So let's get into it. And I might change some of this just depending on what comes out. But we have the connecting energy between you and the person on your mind. A couple cards to represent you. I think what I'm going to do here is like how representative of like your personality and then how you feel about them. And then the same thing over here, their kind of personality and a card to represent them versus how they feel about you. Then we have our internal blocks, if there are any for you and if there aren't any for them. External blocks, so external factors, you and them. And then a hidden factor that you might not know about. And then we have advice from Spirit. We do also have an extended available. I'm still putting them up on Etsy and Patreon, though I may stop putting them on Etsy just because they're not as popular on Etsy. But we'll see the outcome if action is taken, outcome if no action is taken. And then this is just important timings that you might need to know about. So this will be kind of like a story format. And then a message from your person. Yeah, I'm not doing any of the yes or no question or timing today, though I may change my mind. And I'll do that in the future if that's something you guys want more of. So yeah, so that's our breakdown of the reading. So now I can get into the piles. So for the first one, we have our crafting block, pile 1. I don't have any stones for these. I didn't want to get it too overwhelming, but I have drawn a card for your connect. I've gone ahead and drawn the connecting energy card for each pile. So this is the 8-bit tarot. That's the back art. And then for your connecting energy, I almost spilled all of that, is the 5 of Cups. And I'll just leave that right there. Then for pile 2, we have the Capybarot tarot. I believe that's what it's called. Capybarot. The Capybarot tarot. And we have the a grass, kind of a dirt block for that one. And then for your connecting energy, we have the Emperor. Then for pile 3, we have a brick, kind of a reddish brick block, reddish brown. And then we have the Anime Tarot with your connecting energy being the King of Pentacles. And then for pile 4, we have a question mark block, which these are in my son's group or block set, but I've never seen a question mark block in Minecraft. I don't know if they exist or not. They might. And for that one, we have the Gilded Tarot, and your connecting energy is the 8 of Cups. So 5 of Cups, Emperor, King of Pentacles, and the 8 of Cups. So take your time choosing whichever one speaks to you the most. Look at the artwork, look at the blocks, look at the back artwork. Yeah, and we'll see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So this is your reading if you chose the 5 of Cups, the 8, or the 8-bit tarot deck. 8-bit tarot, I think is what it's called. 8-bit fantasy tarot. Or the crafting block. So, we are going to get right into it and shuffle. We're going to leave that one there because that is your connecting energy. Just right there. So, Spirit, what can you tell me about pile 1? Their energy and how they feel about the person that's on their mind. How do they feel about them? We'll get into the blocks in a bit. Okay. So this is your card representing you. And then the card representing how you feel about pile numbers. Or how you feel about the person that's on your mind. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw for your person too. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1's person? Like a card who represents them, the Knight of Swords. And then how do they feel about pile number 1? Justice. Cool. So pile 1, you are represented by the Lovers, and that usually means you're very connection-driven, kind of connection-oriented person. You value connection, you value people, you want someone to love, basically, which there's nothing wrong with that. You put a little, I always like to say, if you were a sim and you had a life goal, it would be in the love area. Like, you know how you pick out your personalities and your goals. Like for me personally, I always picked out romance oriented, because that's something that like kind of, you know, was a thing that I've always wanted in my life, is romance and you know, finding that partner, that connection. And it's really interesting that the Wheel of Fortune popped out. You don't feel like this is a normal everyday meeting. This is like fated. I'm getting possibly, if you believe in it, like divine counterpart, twin flame kind of energy. Whoever, you know, the person on your mind is someone who you've met, and you don't feel like it's random, right? You don't feel like maybe you've had past lives with this person. Maybe you've shared lots of memories, not necessarily just in like past lives, but in this life as well. But it could also be a very brand new connection that you're just talking to, and you just feel like you know them. I know there's been, I would say, 1 or 2 people in my life where I've met them and I'm like, I know this person. Like, I know this person from somewhere, I just don't know where. That kind of feeling. Hang on, I need to turn the air down. Sorry, I turned the heat on because I was cold when I got home, and then when I started doing this, I started immediately feeling hot. So that might be something you feel. You're very hot for this person. Yeah, I'm getting that. It's just like this is somebody you've been looking for a very long time, and the block is definitely something that bothers you, of course. So now let's look at your person. So your person is represented, their personality themselves are represented by the Knight of Swords. This is somebody who is, swords are intellect. So this is somebody who is very sharp, very smart. And then when you have the court cards, page, knight, queen, and then king. So we've got, the knight is a little bit more mature than the page. So this is somebody who is maybe a little bit older. I don't know about necessarily older than you, but they are, a little bit older. They've done their, work. They've done their work. They've learned some life lessons. They're not fresh out of the box. They may also be kind of impulsive, kind of blunt, kind of intense too. And they may move very quickly. This might be somebody who you've been talking to and things kind of feel like they're moving fast. But, there's just something that's like blocking your connection. And we will take a look at that. So with justice being how they feel towards you, they are trying to be fair. Wait, no. I mean, yes, fair. But they're trying to take things slow. They know they have a tendency to be impulsive, so they don't want to mess this up. They want to do things correctly. They want to... They're very careful. Maybe you haven't given them necessarily this feeling, but they're kind of walking on eggshells, right? They're not not that you, like I said, not that you've given them the reason to feel that way, but they kind of feel that way. They just don't want to mess this up. And I'm going to go ahead and say that that's probably what's blocking this connection, is overthinking on their part. And they have maybe a tendency to get inside their head. Which is also interesting that you have the Five of Cups as your connector. Now, the Five of Cups is kind of like the grief card. So it's interesting to me. I feel like this happens every single time I've done a reading so far. I feel like every single time I've done a reading, something from a past reading has popped up. And this feels familiar to me. You might want to watch some of my older videos. I think, not the K-pop Demon Hunters one, but the one, Has Been Hotel. Because I remember there being some shared grief in that one. I think that was pile 2. I don't want to tell you which pile to go to, but, use your intuition if you want to go back to it. And don't let me tell you which pile. In fact, I might just delete that. I don't want to tell you. But it does, or unless you've already done it and you're watching this one. But yes, so this is shared grief of some kind. Not necessarily something that's happened between the two of you, but there's been some kind of sadness, some kind of disappointment, some kind of loss. Maybe you are both like let go from a job together. Maybe you work together and one of you was let go, and now you're sad that you can't be, you don't see each other every day. Or maybe this is a really weird example that just popped into my head, but maybe you met at a funeral. I mean, it could happen, right? You met at a funeral for like a mutual friend, or not a family member, but that would, please don't. A mutual friend or something. That's what's connecting you, is some kind of loss. Now, the loss could be the two of you. The loss could be that you've known this person and you've done the dance and you've confessed feelings and you were dating or together or maybe possibly even married. And now something has happened to cause you guys to split up. That is a possibility. Things weren't exactly what you thought they would be. So yeah, it's either you met over, or you're together over a shared, loss of some kind, or that you've already come together and now you're apart. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because this is a collective reading. It'll be different for everybody. So we're going to go ahead and get to your blocks now. So what is blocking this connection? So I'm going to pull a card for you, and I'm going to pull a card for them. This is your internal blocks. Now, again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Maybe the block is all them. Maybe the block is all you. Maybe it's external. Maybe it's all of the above. But, if and also if this is, your pile, you will know it's your pile from what I just explained up here. But if it's not, and that doesn't sound like you, then maybe you need to pick a different pile. But if it did, then let's keep going. So you versus them, eternal blocks. So what is, Spirit, what's the internal block for, okay. This is starting to make some sense. The Fool for you, for internal. So what's the internal block for their person? A bunch just jumped down, but I don't want to take all of them. I'm going to take the top, but I'm also going to look at what's under here. So I've got the 7 of Swords, the Empress, and the Six of Swords. I don't know if we want to take all of these or not. That's a lot for them. Maybe, it kind of makes sense because it sounds like they're overthinking this connection. So I don't think these three cards were an accident either. We'll start with you. With the Fool, that's kind of... I want to say the Fool is about starting journeys and starting something new. So it could be like you're starting new. You're starting on a new venture. You're starting on a new journey. Maybe, I know this. Okay. I just thought the divorce thing that I had, the thought of divorce or whatever that popped into my head, maybe that's not about you two. Maybe that's something... It doesn't have to be a divorce, but maybe you were with somebody that you thought you were going to be with for the rest of your life, and now you guys are splitting up, divorcing, whatever, and now you're beginning anew. But it is so new. You're right at the beginning, like maybe you're freshly out of a relationship, and it is just so fresh and so new, you don't feel like you should feel this way yet about somebody. Take that if it resonates and leave if it doesn't. This is definitely overthinking on your person's end. Again, and if it's something where they're impulsive, maybe they got married quickly, or whatever, and now they're trying to take their time with this connection. This makes a lot of sense. Seven of Swords, avoidance. The Empress is nurturing, and the Six of Swords is emotional distance. So your person is trying to take time for themselves, I think. But they don't want to give this up because you feel like this is fated and you feel like it's too soon for you to feel this way, possibly. The other thought that I just had was, you might be afraid to take, I kind of just said that. You might be afraid to take that leap. With the Fool, it's like, the Fool is basically a little similar to the Knight of Swords, where it's impulsiveness and it's taking the leap. Not in a blind way, but in I'm ready to go. We're starting out on a journey. It's getting up early to go on a road trip. This has been planned for a while. And we knew it was coming. So I don't feel like you're scared necessarily to take the leap. I just feel like you feel like it's too soon. I heard, what would people think? Yeah, I'm getting this feeling that maybe you're fresh out of a relationship and you're afraid of what other people might think. And then with your person, they are just overthinking the hell out of this. They're trying to be nurturing to themselves. They're walking on eggshells is basically what I'm thinking. They might not feel worthy. They might feel distant. They might feel like you're too good for them. Yeah. There's just something there that's blocking them mentally from saying something, from confessing, from being emotionally vulnerable. Maybe they're afraid of getting hurt. They're definitely afraid of hurting you, but they're also afraid of getting hurt themselves. So let's look at our external. Yeah, let's look at our external blocks. So we've got you and then them. So you, Spirit, what is pile one's external block? What's keeping them blocked on the outside? The Nine of Cups. Huh. And for your person, the Ace of Swords. Huh. So you're the Nine of Cups, and that's kind of the wish fulfillment card. That's like the card right before the Ten of Cups. It's satisfaction, it's joy, it's happiness. As a block, however, that might be your, gut feeling that's like, if I'm happy, or I should be happy on my own for a while, Like, I should be happy with what I've got. And maybe that's the way you feel, is like you don't need someone in your life. Like maybe you've moved out and you're in a place where you're taking care of yourself, you're making the money, you don't have anyone, having to support you. Not that I'm implying you ever did, but you're doing well, so why would I need, a partner? You just might be comfortable where you are, or maybe even think that you're supposed to be comfortable where you are. For your person with the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords is about communication and truth and clarity. So as an external block, that's them. They might not know how you feel, and you might appear to them to be happy on the outside, which you are, and that's it. Maybe it seems like that's like what you're putting out, is like, I'm okay on my own. Especially if the scenario where you kind of just left a relationship makes sense. You're like, I'm happy on my own. I don't need anyone else. And they're picking up on that. So that might be what's blocking them on an external level. They don't know how you feel. So now we're going to look at the hidden factor. I feel like I'm going through this really fast, but I feel like my last readings were really long, so maybe this is good. So the external factor, or not the external factor, the hidden factor, I've got the King of Pentacles in reverse. This is interesting. Everything here has been upright except for the hidden factor. So the King of Pentacles in the upright is basically like, I'm the king of money, right? I'm stability, I'm nurturing, I'm giving. In the reverse, it's the opposite. So your person might see you as someone who has everything together. So they're like, what would my role be here? Why would I disturb that? Especially with, justice and the walking on eggshells stuff. Why would they, They think that you're happy on your own. So why would they want to ruin that? Not ruin it, but, there's just, I feel like there's just been a lot of loss here, or some kind of loss between you guys. And again, this also kind of apply if the scenario where you guys were together and then you broke up kind of fits, because, maybe this is someone you broke up with and now they think you're happier on your own. So they don't want to disturb you. Meanwhile, they're overthinking things. You are ready to take the leap again, even if you are afraid of what other people might think, or afraid of what you might think. Like, and that makes sense too, because I mean, if you have friends who have been like, don't go back to him, don't go back to him, don't go back to him, you go back to him, they're going to be like, well, what did we tell you? I'm not saying also that you should go back to him if this is a toxic relationship and you guys broke up for a reason. Then obviously you need to stay broken up. But they see you as somebody that's happy on their own, and obviously you can be happy on your own, but having a partner, there's nothing wrong with that. Having someone to go through life with, and enjoy life with. I like doing things by myself, especially now in my later years, more than I did when I was younger. I like, being alone, but, when I was younger and even sometimes now, I would much rather have my partner there with me, and share it with somebody. I don't ever see myself going on a trip by myself. I say that, but even then, I've also gone to Japan by myself. So I'm okay on my own, but having someone there with me to share it with makes it better. So let's look at your advice, Spirit. Let's get some advice for pile 1, and then we'll move on to the extended. And just a reminder with the extended, it's, outcomes. If action is taken, which it sounds like maybe somebody needs to have a conversation here. Outcome if no action is taken, and then important timings you should know, as well as message from your person. But first, Spirit, let's leave pile 1 if they're leaving us here with some advice. Or leave them with some advice before they head over to the extended, please. Oh, kind of two things jumped out. Well, the devil. I think this is okay to show. The devil and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Huh. So one thing that Spirit is saying here, which kind of makes me think there might be some truth to that. If some of your, with some of you, this being a certain relationship that you might want to go back to, but maybe you shouldn't. Don't let emotions cloud your clarity. Maybe detach from any obsession you might have with this person. I'm not saying you're obsessed, but if you've been finding yourself spiraling, I think the best thing to do is to distract yourself. I know when I get in my head, honestly, the best thing for me to do is to work on my channel or to, do a meditation and just try to clear my mind. Let me see something here. Oops. Be clear about what you want. And it might be that you need to have a conversation with this person too, but in a healthy way. And in a guarded way, if that makes sense. Be aware not to get into like a huge argument, a huge fight, especially if you just need to come clean about what you're feeling. I think this person needs to hear it, though. I think they are trying so hard not to screw this up and lose you. But you also don't need to tiptoe around for their sake. If you are truly happier on your own, then stay on your own. Again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is one of those situations where you should not go back to this person, and you know you should not go back to this person, and then, yeah, don't. But, if it's not, and it's someone that either maybe you've had disagreements in the past with, or it's a brand new connection, and you're thinking that it might be like the scenario where it might be too soon. I think sometimes it might be better to tell the person how you're feeling and get rejected and then get it out of your system than to hold it in and never know. That's something that I've thought about recently too. So yeah, I think we're going to leave this here unless you're joining me in the extended. I hope this helped, pile one. Let me know if it did. Let me know if it didn't. Let me know your situation in the comments. I really would love to kind of know what's going on here. If you feel like sharing, of course you don't have to. But yeah, so if you like this video, please like it. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it. Doesn't matter to me none. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe and be sure to share this with your friends so that I can continue to grow and make better content for you guys. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So if you chose the Capybarot Tarot or Capybarot, this Minecraft block with the grass and the dirt, or the Emperor as your connecting energy, then this is your reading. So we're going to start out by drawing 2 cards for you and 2 cards for your person. We've already got our connecting energy, which is the Emperor. So Spirit, please turn me into pile one's energy and their personality. A card for them to represent them. We've got Judgment in reverse. A card to represent their feelings towards their person. We've got Temperance in reverse. Interesting. And then a card to represent... Oh, these are flopping out. They have lots to say with this one. The spirits do. The 4 of Swords in reverse for your person, to represent your person, and how they feel about you. Okay, all reversals. 8 of Swords in reverse. Oh, okay. Very interesting here. So pile 2, you tend to be a little more judgy of yourself. Maybe you judge others too, but for the most part, you overthink a lot. So you might struggle with self-forgiveness. You might avoid feeling big feelings. But you're very hard on yourself, is what I'm picking up here. So then with your feelings towards your person with Temperance in reverse, you're kind of feeling off about this person. You may be trying too hard sometimes, or not trying at all. There's something out of sync, and there's some frustration going on. But there's a lot of withdrawal. You criticize yourself a lot, and you might be criticizing yourself over mistakes with this connection. There's a lot of inner conflict here. So I expect to see a lot come up for our inner blocks, internal blocks. I don't know if you can hear the dog barking. It's my neighbor's dog. So for your person, 4 of Swords in reverse for their, for the card representing themselves. This is about pause, withdrawal, impatience. Maybe this person is a little on the impatient side. Maybe they, okay, this is dumb, but I just thought of something that a boss of mine used to tell me. He said he was he's the kind of person who, okay, so he told me it this way. When he was a kid, his parents or his mom offered him, she said you could have one cookie now or 2 cookies later. And he said he always chose the 1 cookie now because he is a 1 cookie now kind of guy. So he would rather have it now than later, I guess. So I feel like you're this person. You're the cookie now kind of guy, the impatient one. You've got to have your stuff now. When it comes to your person, though, you feel a little trapped. Maybe not necessarily with them, but like you feel there's something stuck here. Okay, you feel stuck, but with your person, sorry, I'm reversing it. Your person feels stuck, but with you, they feel relief. They feel clarity. They don't feel as constrained. Oh. They're a very go, go, go kind of person. But with you, they feel like they can kind of put down some walls. With your combined energy, with your connecting energy of the Emperor, there's some sort of power dynamic or power struggle here. Some sort of, something between you guys. There's a power struggle for sure. One person might have more power than the other or power over the other. One person takes the lead. Someone wants clarity and they're not getting it. There's dominance here. Or someone feels dominated. And I don't want to get too graphic, but maybe one of you wants to dominate the other. Maybe, and I mean, not, okay, obviously take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and in a non, you know what I mean, that type of way, that would be bad. But, you know, when we're talking about like bedroom dynamics, then yeah, there might be a thing here where that might be a thing at play. But for the most part, I think it's either one of you has power over the other, or you feel like they have power over you, or they feel like you have power over them. There's a lot of power play going on here. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to take a clarifier, but I don't. Like, I feel like that's, yeah, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because I feel like a clarifier will just muddy it up here. If that resonates with you, then this is your pile. But if it doesn't, then you might need to pick a different pile. So now we're going to look at your internal blocks. So Spirit, please turn me into pile 1's energy and their internal blocks with them, and then the internal blocks with their person. Oh, hello. So sorry, did I say pile 1? Pile 2. You're the queen. Your internal block is the Queen of Cups in reverse. That's a very cute card. And your person's internal block is the Two of Pentacles. So pile 1, I keep saying pile 1. Maybe there's messages for you in pile 1 too. But pile 2, you are kind of emotionally overwhelmed. You might be having a hard time expressing your emotions or letting your emotions cloud your judgment. This also kind of matches with your temperance reversed and how you feel about your person. You want connection, but you're just kind of fearing being consumed or hurt by it at this point. You might also have poor emotional boundaries where you sort of, I know, for one example that just popped into my mind is like checking social media. Like if you're checking an ex's social media and you know that you're not going to see anything good on there, and then you end up looking at it anyway, and it's a picture of them with their new significant other, and you're like, why the heck did I look at that? And you just, yeah, that sort of thing. There might be some codependency here. I think you're just afraid of getting hurt. And then with your temperance reversed, that checks out there. You're just withdrawing emotionally or trying to withdraw emotionally. And then with the Emperor, you just feel like this person has a lot of power over you. And it's exhausting for your person, their internal block. And again, I think I mentioned this in pile 1 too, but these blocks might not all apply to everybody, or take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Like everyone might not have a internal block. It might be more of an external block that's blocking this connection. It might be internal. It might be both. It might be something completely different. But with the Two of Pentacles for your person, they are they're kind of a busy person, I'm getting. They're impatient, they're busy. I said pause before, and I meant to say coming out of a pause. They're busy, they're the cooking now kind of person. I hate saying that. They feel trapped by this connection. No, they feel trapped and they want to reach out and they want to, but they feel like something's definitely holding them back. Maybe we'll see more of that it's either themselves or they're something externally that's keeping them from reaching out to you. Now, busyness, that's kind of an external trap. That's kind of an external block. Their mind might be very busy. They might have a lot going on in their own inner world. They maybe keep themselves busy in order to keep their mind from wandering, from thinking about you, from thinking about things and getting overwhelmed. They're definitely distracted. And I think that's on purpose. They're distracting themselves in order to stop feeling. They want to engage, but they're not in that place yet. I really want to look at these external blocks because I think that will help clarify what is what is pile 2's person feels so trapped by. There could be a third party situation. Maybe they're already in a relationship. Maybe they're married. And again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You'll know your situation better than anyone. So, Spirit, let's check pile 2's. Their external block. What is blocking them externally from continuing this connection? We have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Now, what's blocking their person here? Okay, the Ace of Pentacles. There's a lot of pentacles. swords, but in the blocks, we're seeing a lot of pentacles. Maybe money isn't a factor here. Maybe materials are a factor in some way. So there's something here with timing. And I feel like you, pile 2, also kind of feel stuck. Give me 1 second. All right, I'll order a pizza. So, pile 2, I think I mentioned this, but whatever your person is feeling stuck by, you might be feeling that as well. Like I said, it could be like a third party situation. Maybe a financial situation. Maybe they're in a state of, I don't want to say poverty, but maybe they're just not in the best financial state at the moment. With the Ace of Pentacles showing up for them, that could be very likely. They feel like you are worth investing into. And right now, it's just not the time. They do see you as somebody who is worth pursuing, but they are just not in the place to make things happen. So yeah, it could either, the block here could either be I'm thinking third party kind of situation where they're in a relationship, or, there's something else going on. Maybe they're having to take care of a sick parent or something. That could be also a possibility, or it's just like a financial thing, especially with both of these being pentacles. And pile 2, this is something that you know as well. On your end, you might not have anything externally blocking you from the situation, from the pursuing this person, but you feel blocked because this person feels blocked, or you feel stuck because this person feels stuck. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And now we're going to look at what a hidden factor is between the two of you. This could be a block. It could be something you guys aren't seeing. It could be a block on any of your ends. Just something that you don't really know about that could also be affecting the situation. So we got the Page of Cups in reversed. So the reversed Page of Cups is very much when emotions are messy and hard to deal with or understand. You could be feeling a lot of emotions. Be feeling very deep emotions. It also points to like emotional immaturity. This could be a person who's just not sure how to deal with their emotions, period, which is why they keep busy. There's nervousness, there's awkwardness. There are feelings for sure. They might not feel worthy of you or worthy of a love like yours, but for some of you, and again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But I'm getting very toxic masculinity. Like this might be a relationship you want to avoid altogether. Again, that's not for all of you, but especially with the Emperor, this person just might have a lot of growing to do, and you might just have to be patient and let that happen. If the block is something like a third party, that alone just might not be worth pursuing. Especially if this is somebody who might be in a long-term relationship, perhaps like have a wife or kids or whatever, or husband, I guess, they're married and they have kids. You don't want to be a homewrecker in that case. So let's take a look at some advice from Spirit on how to deal with this, and then we'll head on into the extended. So your advice from Spirit is the Tower reversed. That's interesting. I'm getting that this is a situation where things need to the dust kind of needs to settle. And in the extended, we can look deeper into the outcome if action is taken versus the outcome if action is not taken. That would be a very good thing to look at here. But this is just, I think what Spirit is saying here is that don't try to create something out of chaos. With the Emperor being your connecting energy and there being some sort of power dynamic, some impulsiveness, some impatience on your person's part, and then with this, external money situation, possible third party, I think Spirit is saying to just let this be or address it before it gets any worse. Whichever, again, we can take a look at what that means in the extended, but because I'm wondering now, does that mean to leave it alone and not pursue this again, I'm getting vibes that maybe pursuing this isn't the best idea, but I mean, it could be an issue or a situation where that third party, if there is a third party, is ending. This might not be something, so this might not be something you necessarily have to address with your person. This might be something you work on internally first. Your person keeps themselves busy in order to avoid emotions, I feel. So it might be a good idea to try that yourself. Keep yourself busy. Not to avoid emotions, but to better yourself and distract yourself. But like I said, we'll look at that more in the extended, because I am curious to know what would happen if we took action towards this relationship versus if we did nothing. But I think the biggest piece of advice Spirit is saying here is to take care of yourself and don't let this get any further out of control than it may have already gotten. Okay. All right. Well, if you're joining me in the extended, I will see you there. The link is in the description below, whether it's on Etsy or Patreon. Etsy might not be a thing much longer. I'm not sure. But if you're leaving me here, then thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it. It doesn't matter to me none. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe and be sure to share this with your friends so I can continue to grow and make better content for you guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Anime Tarot deck, this brick Minecraft block, or the King of Pentacles as your connecting card, then this is your pile. So we're gonna get right into it. Hang on a second. Okay, so Spirit, please tune me into pile. Oh shoot, where did I put the? Hang on. I accidentally shuffled the King of Pentacles back into the deck. So Spirit, did I say pile 2 or did I say pile 3? I don't know. I'm all over the place today. So, Spirit, please tune me into pile 3's collective energy and select a card to represent themselves and this connection, or themselves personality-wise. Oh, that's it. Flip over. Okay. 4 of Cups in reverse. And how do they feel about or how do they feel about their person? Okay. Reversed. I think that wanted to come out reversed. Okay. So 4 of Cups reversed. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Spirit, tune me into pile 2's person? 3. Pile 3's person. Their personality and how they feel about pile 3. So, card to represent them. card to represent pile 3's person. There was a bunch that came out there. So 9 of Swords in reverse. I'm not taking all of those though. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. And then how do they feel about pile 3? Please and thank you. Oop. Okay, 10 of Cups. Ooh, 10 of Cups. Cool. Interesting. Okay. So your pile 3, your energy, or your card representing yourself is the 4 of Cups in reverse, which means you can be becoming more receptive or open, maybe moving out of a period of emotional withdrawal. You're starting to notice what's available and what's possible. You're kind of shifting from the I don't care part of your life, or maybe your love life, into an okay, I'm ready. This might be somebody who has gone through a breakup and now is coming out of the grieving period. Yeah, you're sort of, you've been staying in your comfort zone and now you're ready to get out of that comfort zone. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, you're feeling like your person, you're being a little cautious when it comes to them. You notice them and you like them, but you're stuck. Obviously, this is a reading for what is blocking this connection, so you knew that. Yeah, you feel an attraction, but you're not progressing on it. There's some sort of caution and some kind of mental block. So again, which is telling us what we already know. With your person being the 9 of Swords in reversed, this is someone who is going through a rough time. This is someone who, oh wow. Yeah, this is somebody who's going through maybe a period of grief for some reason in their life. They may be obsessing, ruminating a lot in their head. They may have unhealthy coping mechanisms like drugs or alcohol. That's not for everyone. Just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But that could very well be a possibility. But with the 10 of Pentacles, they, as you know, the way they see you, they have a lot of hope. Oh, did I say 10 of Pentacles? I meant 10 of Cups. So you're their 10 of Cups. Yeah, you're their 10 of Cups. This is really cute to look at, honestly. I'm getting some very cute energy here. And I feel like I've read this before. I feel like this has popped up in another reading too. They're coming out of a rough period. And they feel like you're the one, basically. They feel like you are, like I said, I mean, it's not much to say other than you are their 10 of Cups. You are their happy ending. I am not sure if it's because of the way they've been if they've been down, if they've been, depressed for so long. If they've been just in such a bad place that they need some sort of hope to hang on to. But I think for the majority of you, it's less, looking at things through rose-colored glasses and more of they see you as someone with a lot of potential. Okay, sorry guys. I had a thing come up with my son, but I think we've got it taken care of now. Hopefully. So your connecting energy is the King of Pentacles. I'm not sure if I started talking about it before I cut myself off or not, but what connects you guys is, oh my God. I do not know if you can hear that in the background, but that is something my husband is watching. That sounds like pure insanity. So this is like a solid foundation, a solid connection. There's long-term potential here. There's maturity. There's stability. The King of Pentacles is basically about stability, success, wealth, security. This is something that's being set up for the long term between the two of you. You guys rely on each other. It's what, and I don't know where you guys are at in your relationship, but, and for different people, it'll be different for each of you, but like, this is what relationships are built by. So a lot of times people think that a relationship is supposed to be 50-50. And most of the time, the best relationships are going to be 70-30. That was weird. 70-30. 20-80. 90-10. That sort of thing. Sorry, I'm getting inundated with everything that can go wrong right now is going wrong. So yeah, things are there's basically what I'm saying is that there's a foundation here, or a foundation to be made between the two of you. So next we're going to look at your internal blocks. So that will be, we'll start looking at pile 3, your internal block. And then we'll pull a card for your person's internal block. So Spirit, please turn me into pile 3's internal blocks. What's blocking this connection internally for them? Please and thank you. Okay, there's 2 there. The 2 of Pentacles reversed. And the Sun. That's cute. Now, what is internally blocking this connection for pile 3's person? The Chariot. These are such cute cards. So, pile 3, I'm getting the feeling that you are a little on the pessimistic side, considering maybe you just went through a breakup not long ago. You're ready to get out of it. And there might be some still unresolved issues there. I mean, there's always going to be baggage, right? So this is reading to me like you feel like this connection is too good to be true. You're overwhelmed. You're hesitant. That's the 2 of Pentacles in reverse is about overwhelm, hesitation, and then the Sun is about joy. So these are kind of opposites. So yeah, it kind of just reads to me like this is a connection that you just feel like is too good to be true. Another way we can interpret it is you are basically overthinking. You're hesitant. I just saw you're hesitant to put a shine on the connection. Like to fully let it shine. You're overwhelmed by their love in a way. You just, it's like a too good to be true kind of thing. But with your person, with the Chariot, they're fearful of forcing the situation. This was similar to a different reading I just did. I can't remember if it was pile 1 or pile 2, but it was another like fear of like having to walk on eggshells and being too afraid to mess things up. They might be practicing self-discipline, holding themselves back from being too forward. They don't want to scare you off because they like you a lot. And there's a foundation here. If it's someone that you've known for a while and maybe you were in a relationship with or were in a relationship with, I think it's just another one of those. They are overthinking things and they're afraid to mess things up even further, right? So what about external blocks here? Spirit, please tune me in to pile 3. Their external block, if any. And I mentioned this in another pile, but they could, for everyone, it's going to be different. You could resonate with only the internal blocks. You could resonate with only the external blocks. Or you could resonate with all of them. You got 2 again. King of Cups reversed and the Star reversed. And for your person, they got 2 as well. 2 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Let's do... Yeah. 2 of Wands, Ace of Wands, King of Cups reversed. The Star reversed. So with the King of Cups and the Star in reversed, these are kind of emotional cards because Cups is emotion. And I don't know if this is like a personal thing for me necessarily, but I thought I would bring it up. I'm exhausted by the state of the world. And that is one of those things that comes up frequently for me and affects a lot of my decision making. As much as that I hate it. I actually got my tubes tied after my last baby. Part of the reason I got my tubes tied was because of just this current administration and RV Wade being overturned. You know, like just needing to protect myself. I actually kind of regret that now, but you know, with the Star and the King of Cups in reverse, it sort of goes along with emotional moodiness, instability, unsteadiness, lack of control. And the Star's pretty much the same in the reverse. Disconnection from spirit, pessimism. I'm getting that like you're a pessimist, kind of pessimist at the same time. And I know that's like, these are more internal factors, overthinking and being pessimistic. But they stem from external factors as well. You wouldn't be feeling this way had it not actually happened before. You know, you might also be exhausted from the state of the world, everything that's been going on lately. I think we're all tired and fed up. And that affects our lives as a whole. It affects our jobs, it affects our relationships, it affects our children. Before I started this reading, I started feeling really moody. And I don't know if this is me letting personal feelings through, because I was going through a lot of overwhelm. But I'm getting the fact that, you know, maybe this is Spirit's way of telling me that you were overwhelmed as well. And I just want to let you know, like, I feel you. I understand. And I understand the need to find that 10 of Cups, even though that's your person thinking you are being somebody's 10 of Cups, you know? Yeah, I'm getting really emotional. I'm sorry. 2 of Wands and Ace of Wands. Let's look at your person's 3:33 on the clock right now. Maybe that's a good sign. So with your person getting the 2 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Okay, well, let me read you the keywords here, and then I'll explain my reasoning. So the 2 of Wands is choice, potential, planning, right? The Ace of Wands is beginning, passion, inspiration, energy. I think your person externally maybe at the beginning of something in their life. Maybe they're starting a new job. Maybe they're starting a new project, a new business, a new something. They're in the beginning stages of something that they're really passionate about, energetic about, inspired by, and they're starting to move stuff forward in their life. So they're in a place where they're trying to build something. But why would that be blocking the connection with you, I wonder? It might be just like, oh, they want to make sure they're set up. They want to be your 10 of Cups too. So they're trying to be set. They want to be the King of Pentacles. They're trying to set themselves up so that you both can live like a happy life together. They don't feel like they're in a place yet to really take care of you or give you the love that you deserve in their eyes. So this next card will be the hidden factor. So this could be an internal block. This could be an external block. This could be just something completely different, an unknown. It's the Magician. Babes, you manifested each other. This is cute. This is real cute. Yeah, y'all manifested each other. You or prayed or whatever you want to look at, however you want to call it. But you definitely are divinely connected. Like, this is someone in your soul family, perhaps a divine counterpart or a twin flame. You definitely manifested each other, and you're definitely making stuff happen. And you can continue to make stuff happen. And, be each other's 10 of Cups. This is for, I don't know, I just felt like going ahead and drawing these. Your advice from Spirit. I got the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. I'm getting a lot of double cards, apparently. I was so sure I shuffled this deck, but maybe this is actually how it's supposed to be. So the advice from Spirit is to keep doing what you do best. Keep manifesting. Like, the Queen of Wands is magnetism, influence, power, joy, warmth. The Knight of Wands is taking action, passion, energy, daring. It's manifesting energy and action energy. So you're doing exactly what you need to be doing right now. And the best way to attract somebody is to be your best self. Take care of yourself. Do what's best for you and keep doing the things that make you you. People can usually see through inauthenticity if you're trying to be somebody you're not, that sticks out like a sore thumb. So don't try to be this person's ideal person, man, woman, whatever. You already are. If you want to pursue this relationship. So in the extended, we're going to more into this as far as outcome, if action's taken, and if outcome's not, the outcome if action is not taken, and then some timings that are going to be important from the future, as well as a message from them. And those have been very cute so far. So if you would like to join me in this extended, that it will be in the description below, possibly Etsy, possibly on Patreon, might move away from Etsy soon. We'll see. But if you're leaving me here, then thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it. Doesn't matter to me, none. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe and be sure to share this with your friends so that I can continue to grow and make better content for you guys. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this question mark block, which I am not sure is actually in Minecraft or not, or the 8 of Cups, or the Gilded Tarot deck, then this is your reading. So the 8 of Cups will be your, you and your person's connecting energy. We're going to put that right there. And so far, I feel like all of the piles have had some kind of like connection to their block. So I expect this one to be full of mystery. Since it is question mark. So first we're going to draw a card for you and your feelings towards your person. So Spirit, please tune me into Pile 4's collective energy and let me know give me some kind of card. I don't know what I'm saying. What would be a good card to represent them as a person and then their feelings towards their person? Please and thank you. Somehow I have completed 2,200 steps with my shuffling. Okay. I do not shuffle the way everyone else shuffles, and that's okay. I've never been able to shuffle. Oh, there we go. So, oh, we have the star for you. Is that? Ooh. Okay, hang on. We're just going to cover this up because I don't know how YouTube feels about that, but I don't want to have to do that in post because I'm lazy. We'll fix it in post. That was my name for a while on a group because I am a, movie person, television. Went to school for television and editing, journalism actually, but and then your feelings towards your person are the King of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so now let's draw a card for your person to represent them. Hello. The Knight of Wands in reverse. And then how do they feel towards Pile 4? How does Pile 4's person feel towards Pile 4? I got it. Is that 2? We'll take both. 2 of Wands, a reverse, and the 10 of Wands and the upright. So we'll just go ahead and do both of those. Okay, so Pile 4, you are someone who is very, with the star, you're very hopeful. Maybe you yourself are intuitive, and maybe you're an empath, a reader, psychic, you're spiritual. I'm getting that you have a lot of hope in your heart for humanity and people. Well, humanity is people, but you have a lot of hope for the earth and for the world. You're a very hopeful person. So it's funny that the King of Swords popped up, because that's a very analytical kind of, I mean, you can be hopeful and analytical. That's fine. I think people who are analytical and more thoughtful tend to be more pessimistic, but I guess that's not always true. But you've thought about this person a lot, and not in a gushy sort of, I mean, maybe in a gushy sort of way. I guess I should have mentioned that this doesn't have to be a romantic connection. This could be a regular, just everyday connection. This could be a friend. This could be a person that you are like part of your family. If it's romantic, then, I mean, this still applies. You've thought about this connection in a very straight-laced, analytical, fair sort of way. And you've thought about it a lot. You kind of keep going back and forth with how you feel, and, you know, maybe you've kind of had to put some of your own emotions and beliefs aside to try to, you know, say, well, you know, this person they're this way because of this, and, you know, it's not that bad or something like that. I don't want to assume toxic behaviors or anything like that, but, and then again, you know, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This might be someone who's a very nice person, and not in any way toxic, but, you know, you may find yourself forgiving them a little bit easier, or less so, even than you would normally with something about this connection has you not questioning your own beliefs, but bending them in a way. Yeah, you are, and it's either in one direction or the other. Now, your person, it's funny that you feel the way of the King of Swords towards your person. And with them, they are the Knight of Wands in reversed. So a knight is like, what, 2 levels down from a king? And in the reversed, this might be somebody who can be very impatient, very arrogant, very unfocused. Not to put all the bad stuff out there, but, you know, they might struggle to find motivation and passion at times. They may be a very serious person, not necessarily in a bad way, just someone who... Oh my God, I almost said they're a mystery, pile 1, pile 4, and you have trouble cracking them. And then it occurred to me what freaking pile this is. Holy crap. That's amazing. Pile 4, your person is an enigma, and you are not sure how to read them half the time because they put on a face. They upright. In the upright, the Knight of Wands is very passionate, very spontaneous. Maybe this is a person who has a lot of passion on the inside, but on the outside, they're super serious. And I used to date somebody like that, and it was annoying. They rarely smiled. And the times that they did smile, I was like, holy crap. But in the reverse, you know, yeah, it's someone who might be a little more arrogant, a little more unfocused, and a little more serious, at least on the outside. Now, how they feel towards you, we've got 2 wands. We've got 1 reverse, the 2 of wands in reverse, and then the 10 of wands in the upright. So with the 2 of wands, that means in reverse, that means hesitation. And with the 10 of wands, that can mean burden, responsibility, being busy. I think they're hesitant to be in this relationship or claim this relationship or continue this relationship. Yeah, because you see how much they have already. They're very busy, they have a lot on their plate, whether that's in their mind, whether that's literally on, something they're doing on a daily basis. They're already carrying a lot. So they're hesitant to take this on. I don't get the feeling that they don't like you and that they don't want this relationship to be, but it's just something else that they would need to carry. Not that you're a burden, not saying that at all, and they're not saying that either. They are just hesitant to put anything else on their plate. And we'll look at timelines. There might be a period in the extended. We'll look at timelines. There might be a period where they, have less on their plate where they can possibly continue the relationship more. I'll be interested to see if something like that pops up. But let's look at your connector card. That's the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is about letting go, leaving, being dissatisfied. I mean, I think you're pretty dissatisfied with this relationship as it is, where you're kind of questioning everything. They're obviously dissatisfied because they can't put anything else on their plate. So there's lots and lots of frustration here. There's a need. I also get there's a need to get away from it all. Like, the two of you kind of just want to grab each other, and maybe not for all of you, but the two of you just kind of want to grab each other and just go fly off to, I don't know, Hawaii or a random remote island and just disappear from everyone else. It could also mean that you maybe have left other relationships or other situations that have been dissatisfying, and you are bonding over that, or trauma bonding, not less. Or maybe you've left a town that you didn't want to be in anymore. Maybe you've left a family that you didn't want to be in anymore. Maybe you've left a job that was draining you, and they left something as well, and you guys bond over that. That could be another explanation for some of you. Again, it's a collective reading, so there could be a lot of situations that would apply to this. But that is what your connecting energy is some kind of, not loss, but leaving. Like, you didn't lose someone, you didn't lose a job, you weren't forced out of it. You left on your own free will because it wasn't working for you anymore. So if this sounds like you, we'll continue on with the reading. And if it doesn't, you might decide to pick a different pile. And you can always pick different piles too. I forget to mention this, but if you have multiple people in mind, multiple ideas, or maybe 2 piles resonate and it ends up being about the same person. That has happened to me before. There have been messages in multiple piles for me, for the same person, for different people, for different situations. So yeah. Okay, so what's next here? It's been a couple days since I've done this, since I started doing this. So we're going to look at your internal blocks first, between you and your person. Let me move these up. And then we will look at external, but let's start with our internal blocks. So Spirit, what is internally blocking this connection for pile 4? For pile 4. I got 2. Do these want to be upright? They do. Okay. So we got the 2 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles for you, pile 4. That is your internal block. So for your person, the Ace of Wands in reversed is their internal block. All right. I love the different colors here. Blue, green, red. So pile 4 for you, with the 2 of Swords, you are kind of at a standstill. You're sort of, I saw it up here too with your overthinking the situation and this person. You do overthink the situation a lot, and it's like your inner peace has kind of been overtaken, and you really want peace again, basically. So with the Seven of Pentacles showing up at the same time, you're trying to have patience, you're trying to persevere, but there's a lot of noise going on here. A lot of overthinking, a lot of back and forth, like I mentioned before, with the well, maybe I have to bend my beliefs a little bit here and accept them there, or maybe they feel this way, maybe they don't feel that way. And being pile for your person being the mystery that they are, you tend to overthink it and create scenarios in your head. And there are so many different scenarios, and you don't know which one's correct, that you just kind of believe all of them at the same time. You're kind of like, this person's kind of like, this isn't the card of choice. The card of choice is a different card. But I'm getting that sort of like, and with the card of choice, it's like having choices. But with this one, I'm getting that like, she's done the work. She's looking back, look at all the fruits of her labor. But at the same time, she's just like, wow, this is a lot. She doesn't look happy, but she doesn't look miserable either. She's just kind of like, it's done, And then with the Two of Swords, being the blindfolded person, they're just done, period. They're just tired. And that's sort of what I'm seeing here, is that you're just like, you're tired of overthinking this. You're tired of being in the situation where you just want to talk to them and figure out what the heck it is they're thinking, because you can't figure it out half the time. But on the other side, when it comes to yourself, not just them, you have a tendency to kind of be at odds with yourself, because you're like, well, what do I do? Do I push through? Do I talk to him? Do I keep it to myself? Do I not? What do I do? Go online and find a tarot reading and, figure it out that way. Sounds like me. On one hand, you're like, I'm done. But on the other, you're like, oh, I need to persevere. I need to keep going. I need to try to figure this out. And I'll have patience. I'll figure this out. I'll get to the end. But, you're at war with yourself, and it's exhausting. With your person and their internal block, we've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. Honestly, they're tired too. If they're carrying as much as they are in this, scenario up here, they're tired. They can't take on anything else. They've got probably work, family, other relationships, possibly, maybe children, maybe, hobbies, maybe they do a lot of travel. Those are all external things, yes, and we'll probably see that in your external block. But affecting it internally, then, yes, they feel like they're just tired. They're misaligned opportunity is another keyword that comes up here I'm seeing. And, I'm really heavily getting that they're just this is not the right time. Sorry, my phone is blowing up. Hang on. Let me put it, do not disturb on. Okay. Yeah, they're hesitant to take any action because it's just a lot to go on. And I think, they just have a lot to take on. They have a lot going on right now, and to take on any more would just, but we'll continue on and we'll get more information. But in my head, I think you're already taking up space in their head. What, making this an actual thing, or, cutting this block and being together, reconciliation or whatever, doesn't seem to be the problem here. I think maybe you both are overthinking it. Because if you're already taking up space in their head, they're already busy with you. You know? So, Spirit, what is the external block for pile 4? And then what is the external block for pile 4's person? Please, I don't think. So you got the King of Pentacles in reverse. And then for your person, the Page of Cups. Oh, the Knight of Cups also came out. Should we take that one too? Why not? Make some room, scoot over. All right, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. But first we'll start with you and your King of Pentacles in reverse. So, okay. You tend to be a bit of a workaholic as well. So we're pile 4. Come on now. We're being all judgy over here with your person. And it turns out you are the workaholic too. You're busy too. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so with the King of Pentacles in reverse, that does point to workaholic, materialistic, greed, overindulgence. I'm gonna push away all those negative comments. And workaholic, I don't know if that's a negative comment, if that's a negative, it can. But, you know, some people are just happier to work and make money, and it keeps them busy, provides for their family. And then we also live in a capitalist society where we're forced to work all the time. So there's that. And you are, yeah, it also says here that maybe you're indulging too much. Maybe this is something, for some of you, not all of you, but maybe for some of you, you have some sort of addiction. And you tend to overindulge sometimes, and that might be something that actively blocks this connection. Maybe your person doesn't seem to really like that as much. But I think for the majority of you, you are also a workaholic. So maybe that's something you guys bond over too, is that you guys work a lot. With the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups for your person's external, I'm assuming this has something to do with, their own work. So with cups, this is interesting. I think, ooh, okay. Ugh. So pile 4, okay, this is for some of you and not all of you, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But pile 4, your person might be kind of a serial dater. They may, I used The Sims as a example in one of the previous piles, because I would always make myself as the hopeless romantic personality, or give myself the, goal of, like, you have a life goals, and one of them is to, under the romance category, was to find, that special someone. The other side of that is date as many people as possible. That is literally a goal. Like, something like you have to date 10 people by the time your character dies or something like that. And that feels like your person. They're kind of they're either romance everybody or they're friends with everybody, depending on what kind of connection this is. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But they may already have somebody in their life. They may, and again, this is getting into sensitive territory, so please take this with a grain of salt, but they may be married. They may have a girlfriend or a boyfriend already. A significant other, I should say. They may just be trying to fill a void with dating and relationships. It kind of makes me wonder about this. Like, they're so busy, they don't want to, if they think dating is casual and they're just not so into it, then why is it that they feel hesitant to take you on? For some of you, and again, this is, I went the one way with this before, and I'm going the other way with this. So both ways, I'm like, please take it with a grain of salt, the bad and the good, but going good direction. For some of you, this might be a guy or a girl or whoever. This might be a person who has dated around, never wanted to settle down in their life, and then they met you. And again, I don't like to give false hope. I don't like to do it in the bad way. I don't like to go to extremes in the bad way, and I don't like to go to extremes in the good way. But this might be someone who, like I said, is just not a settle down kind of person, never thought they would get married, but then they met you. But they're also kind of like, it's not the right time. I'm not at the right time for this. Like, this is not me. They're not ready to settle down, you know? They might just be young and wanting to date around a bit. If it's a friendship or a family member, again, it might just be that they have a lot of friends, or it could mean that their significant other comes first. Like if this is just a friend or a family member, they may just be in a relationship that's taking up most of their time, and they need to continuously woo their person to make them happy. That's a bad thing, but it's something about their relationships, particularly in love, keeps them busy and keeps them from actively removing this block. So again, take that with a grain of salt. So what's the hidden factor here? I'm really curious to see what this is going to be. So this could be a block. This could be something that you don't know about, something that just you need to know, period, about this relationship, about this block, about anything really. Okay, we got two. Take both, I guess. I'm running out of room. Okay, you can see that. Queen of Wands in reverse and the Six of Wands in reverse. Let's see. So Queen of Wands in reverse kind of points to like low self-esteem. Let me say something here. Self-doubt, creative blocks, lack of confidence, feeling drained. Six of Wands in reverse. Lack of recognition, validation seeking, poor self-esteem, envy, inflated ego. Hiding your gifts. I'm getting that there's some sort of blocked creativity. That's kind of jumping out at me, like some sort of blocked like a writer's block kind of situation. This might be for you, this might be for your person. I don't know, or both. You maybe are both, creators of some kind or artists of some kind, and you've kind of been blocked lately. I think both of you also lack confidence to make this relationship kind of work. Maybe one of you kind of thinks that you're too good for the other, or you think you're not good enough for the other. It's one of the or the other. I just heard be a boss. I don't know what that means. Be a boss. Be a badass bitch boss. Make it fun. That's more advice though. Don't think it too hard. Don't think it too hard. What am I saying? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink this connection, and make it fun. That's all advice, I feel like. But maybe that's part of this. Maybe this will be clear. So let's get some advice from Spirit before I send you on your way, as well as, or the extended. Send you either on your way period or to the extended, which we'll look at more to the timeline here and see if your person becomes less busy, maybe decides to settle down. The Four of Swords. Yeah, we'll look at that more in the timeline, as well as getting a message from your person. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be. So with the Four of Swords, yeah, y'all both need to take some time to reflect and rest. Because y'all are overworkers, workaholics, and is probably take a nap. Relax. Do some meditation. I think that's what Spirit was saying before with like have fun. Make it fun. What was it? Make it fun. Be a boss. Relax. Have fun. Just enjoy the connection instead of overthinking it all the time, because you're doing the work either way. Man, I need to take some of that advice too for some of my connections, for sure. Okay. Well, let's go into the extended now. And if you are joining me in the extended, I will see you there. The link is in the description below. Etsy, not for long maybe, but Etsy and a Patreon. And then, if you're not joining me in the extended, then I will leave you here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like it. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it. Doesn't matter to me none. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe and be sure to share this with your friends so that I can continue to grow and make better content for you guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.